Hi everyone, in this video I will be showing you how to crochet this gingerbread plushie. For this project I used Bernat Blanket Baby in the colors sand, white, and then a little bit of red, and also I used a little bit of black worsted weight yarn for the mouth, 16mm safety eyes that I will link down below, a 6.5mm crochet hook, some polyfill or stuffing, tapestry needle, and scissors. To begin, we're going to start with our brown colored yarn and start with a magic ring, chain 1, and make 8 single crochets into the ring. Once you have your 8 single crochets, go ahead and pull that tail end tight, and we're going to join to that very first stitch. Chain 1, and we're going to make 2 single crochets in each stitch around. So for round 1 we have 8 single crochets, and for round 2 we will end up with 16 single crochets. So go ahead and make 2 single crochets in each stitch around. Once we get to the end of round 2, go ahead and join to the first stitch, chain 1, and we are going to increase every other stitch in this round 3. So the first stitch, 1 single crochet, and then in the second stitch, 2 single crochets, which will be our increase. So go ahead and follow that pattern all the way around, 1 single crochet, and then 2 single crochets. And then for round 3, we should have 24 stitches once we get all the way around. At the end of round 3, go ahead and join to the first stitch in the round, chain 1, and for round 4, we are going to make single crochet, 2 single crochets. So the first stitch, 1 single crochet, the second stitch, 1 single crochet, and the next stitch, 2 single crochets. So we are increasing after every 2 stitches for round 4. Single crochet, and then 2 single crochets. Go ahead and follow that pattern all the way around for round 4, and once you get all the way around, you should have a total of 32 stitches. At the end of round 4, we're going to join, and we are going to change to white. I'm going to keep my brown because after just 1 row of white, we're going to go right back to brown. So I'm just going to leave that hanging there. I'm not going to cut it off. I'm just going to add some white, loop it through, pull my brown working yarn tight, just like that. And I'm going to use the tail of the white to tie it around the brown just to secure it. Just 1 knot. I'm going to chain 1, and then for this round 5, we're just going to make 1 single crochet all the way around. And once we get all the way around, we should have 32 stitches. Once we get all the way around, go ahead and join to your first stitch, and we're going to change right back to the brown color. So I'm going to pull my brown through, because again, I didn't cut that, I just kept it. I'm going to pull my white tight, and then I'm going to cut the white. I'm done with that. I'm going to use my tail to just knot around the brown, chain 1. Now I'm back to brown, and for rounds 6 through 10, we're just going to single crochet all the way around. We're going to add some height to the body. So rounds 6 through 10, that's 5 rows total of the brown. So go ahead and single crochet all the way around. Again, you will have 32 stitches in each round, and I will meet you back here when I'm done with round 10. Here I just finished round 10. I joined to my first stitch. For round 11, we're going to chain 1 and we're going to start decreasing. So for round 11, we're going to decrease after every 2 stitches. So single crochet in the first stitch, single crochet in the second stitch, and we are going to do an invisible decrease. So that's basically a single crochet 2 together, but we're only working in the front loops. So insert your yarn into just the front loop of the next stitch, pull up a loop, insert your hook into the front loop of the second stitch, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through all 3, and that is an invisible decrease. So go ahead and follow that pattern all the way around. Single crochet, single crochet, and then an invisible decrease. And after round 11, you should have 24 stitches. I just finished round 11. I joined to the very first stitch in the round, and now we are going to sew on some buttons in the front. So I'm just using some of the white yarn and a tapestry needle, and we're going to make French knots for the buttons. We'll make a button around row 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So around here, and I want the seam on the back here, so I'm just going to go opposite. I'm going to come from behind and then I'm going to just take 1 loop of the crochet. It's not going through the back at all, just in the front. I'm going to take the yarn between the crochet piece and my needle, and I'm going to wrap it around my needle 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and then I'm just going to hold that and push my needle through, and that's going to create a French knot. And I'm just going to go back down the way I came into the body, and there, that creates a French knot, which makes a little button. And then I'm going to go ahead and make my second one. So that was row 8, 9, 10, 11. So our last row we just did, I'm going to go from behind, grab a loop, go around my needle 3 times. 1, 2, 3, push it through, creates a knot, and I'm just going to go back down the way I came, and there are our buttons. And I'm just going to tie it on the inside so they don't come undone. So the tails are just going to stay inside the body, and at this point you can start stuffing it a little bit. I'm going to do 1 more row until I really stuff the body. So for round 12, we're going to chain up 1, and we're going to decrease every other stitch. So our first stitch, 1 single crochet, and then we will do an invisible decrease, 1 single crochet, and then an invisible decrease. So for this round 12, we should end up with 16 stitches. Again, alternating single crochet and an invisible decrease. Here I am at the end of round 12, and I stuffed the body, and now I'm going to join to that first stitch in row 12 to complete that row. So go ahead and stuff your body with polyfill or stuffing. And then we're going to move on to row 13, which is our last decrease row. So chain up 1, and we are just going to decrease all the way around. So starting over those first 2 stitches, we're going to decrease and continue to decrease all the way around. And for row 13, you should end up with only 8 stitches. At the end of round 13, go ahead and join to that first stitch, chain 1, and for round 14, we will do 2 single crochets in each stitch around. So now we are crocheting the head right on top of the body, and for round 14, we should have a total of 16 stitches. Again, we're doing 2 single crochets in each stitch around for round 14. Here I am at the end of round 14. I'm going to join to that first stitch in the round, chain 1, and for round 15 we're going to do the same thing. We're going to make 2 single crochets in each stitch around, and this will be our last increase round. And at the end of round 15 we should have a total of 32 stitches. Here I am at the end of round 15. I'm going to join to my first stitch, and it's going to look a little frilly. That's normal because we increase so quickly. So this is how it should be looking. And now for rounds 16 through 21, we're going to chain 1, and we are just going to make 1 single crochet all the way around, and we should have a total of 32 stitches for each round. So rounds 16 through 21 is 6 rounds total, and I will meet you back here when I finish round 21. Here I am at the end of round 21, and we are going to embellish the face at this point. So I have some 16mm safety eyes, some red yarn for the cheeks, and then some black worsted weight for the mouth. So I'm going to start with the eyes. So we just finished round 22, and for the eyes we want to put them between rounds 20 and 21. So here's 22, 21, and 20. And I'm going to make sure that it's centered with the buttons. So I'm going to put it about 3 to 4 stitches apart, and just kind of make sure they're lined up with the buttons. And add the backs. And then for the mouth, I'm going to use this black worsted weight yarn with the tapestry needle, and we are going to sew it around row 18. So here's round 22, 21, 20, 19, 18. So right around this area here, in between the eyes, I'm going to make a smile. Something like that. And I'm going to tie the back. And then for the cheeks, we're going to use the red yarn, and we're going to do the knots just like how we did the buttons. And they're going to go right next to the mouth. On round 18, but I'm going to make it over here. And there I have my cheeks done, and I'm just going to tie it on the inside and then leave the tails in there. For round 23, we are going to change to white, and we're just doing one row of white. So I'm not going to cut my brown off. I'm just going to leave it to the side for now. Chain 1, and for round 22, we are going to decrease after every 2 stitches. So single crochet, and then decrease. So follow that pattern all the way around, single crochet, and decrease. And once you get to the end of round 23, you should have 24 stitches. Here I am at the end of round 22. I'm going to join to my first stitch. I'm going to change back to brown. And I'm going to cut the white off. And I'm going to cut the white because we won't be using it after this round. Chain 1, and then for row 23 we're just going to make 1 single crochet all the way around, and that will give us a total of 24 stitches for round 23. Here I am at the end of round 23. I joined to my first stitch. I'm going to chain up 1, and then in round 24 we are going to decrease every other stitch. So the first stitch is 1 single crochet, and then we are going to decrease. And once we follow that pattern all the way around, 1 single crochet and then a decrease, we will have 16 stitches for round 24. Here I am at the end of round 24. Before I join to the first stitch, I'm going to go ahead and stuff the head with some polyfill. And then I'm going to join, and we are going to do our last round, round 25, and that is just decreases all the way around. So once we do decreases all the way around for round 25, we should end up with just 8 stitches. Once you've completed the round, go ahead and join to your first stitch, fasten off, and leave a tail so we could sew the top up. At this point, if you need to, go ahead and finish stuffing your head if you think you need to fit in a little more. If not, grab your tapestry needle and we are going to pull our needle into the front loops only, or the loop closest to you. You're just going to thread that needle all the way around in all those loops. Pull tight, make a knot, just going to pull it out the side, and that completes the body and the head. And next we will be making the arms and sewing them on. For the arms, we'll be starting with a magic ring, chain 1, and we're going to make 5 single crochets into the ring. 3, 4, 5. Grab that tail end, pull it tight, and then we are going to join to the very first stitch. And here we're going to change to white, and I'm going to keep the brown on. I'm just going to loop my white through, pull the brown tight, chain 1, and we're just going to make 1 stitch around with the white. So it'll be 5 stitches. So that was 5 stitches. I'm going to join to the beginning. I'm going to cut my white because we're going to change back to the brown. So there's a lot of ends in here, but I'm gonna end up stuffing the arm with the tails. So I'm gonna go back to my brown, pull the white tight, chain 1, and then for the next 2 rounds, I'm just going to single crochet all the way around for 5 stitches, 5, and then join to the beginning. And then for that last round, this will be round 4. I'm gonna do one more round of just 1 single crochet in each stitch. So there's 3, 4, and 5. And then join. Fasten off, and I'm gonna leave a long tail so we could sew this onto the body. And then all these tails, I'm just going to make sure they're stuffed into the arm. And we're gonna sew the arm right onto the gingerbread around rows 9 and 10. So starting from the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So right around this button here, we're going to sew the arm right here. Of course, you want to make 2 arms and sew both arms on, but they will be around rows 9 and 10 on the side here. So this is where I want it. I'm going to pull my needle through the body first. And then I'm going to go through the arm, go through the body, go through the arm, go through the body again. And that looks good to me, so I'm just going to make a knot. If you want to, you can make another pass through before knotting it in the back. Then I'm just going to go through the bottom. And there's his arm. So once you have both of your arms made and sewed on, he should be looking something like this. And that is it. I hope you enjoyed making this gingerbread. I hope you learned something new today. And if you enjoy crochet tutorials, be sure to subscribe to my channel.